Have you ever wondered how a single event could change the world forever? The story of Jesus' death isn't just an ancient tale. It's a powerful moment in history that shaped everything we know about love, sacrifice, and hope. Stay with me as we uncover the gripping details behind his final days and discover why this story still resonates even 2,000 years later. But first, a question. Have you ever felt that kind of love that makes you do crazy things? Wait until you hear about the ultimate act of love. The betrayal and arrest of Jesus. It all began with a kiss. Yes, you heard that right. A kiss from a friend named Judas. In the dark Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus had been praying, Judas approached him and sealed his fate with a kiss on the cheek. The authorities immediately took Jesus into custody, dragging him away under the cover of night. Imagine the fear and the sense of betrayal that must have flooded that moment. This was a man who healed the sick, comforted the brokenhearted, and spoke of peace, and yet he was being treated like a dangerous criminal. The disciples scattered in terror, leaving Jesus alone to face the horrors that awaited. But what happened next would test the very limits of human endurance. The trial and suffering. Dragged before the high priests and later Pontius Pilate, Jesus stood accused of blasphemy. The crowds that once cheered for him now shouted for his execution. "Crucify him," they screamed, a chant that echoed through the streets. The injustice was overwhelming. Jesus was innocent of any crime, yet he was sentenced to endure excruciating pain. They whipped him until his skin tore, placed a crown of thorns on his head, and mocked him as the King of the Jews. But through it all, Jesus remained silent, bearing the insults, the pain, and the hatred. He carried his cross toward Golgotha, staggering under its weight. But it wasn't just the weight of the wooden beams that burdened him, it was the weight of the world's sins. Talk about a rough day, right? It puts our daily struggles into perspective. The crucifixion. As the nails pierced his hands and feet, Jesus was raised up on the cross, a symbol of shame and torture. The sky darkened and the earth shook. For hours he hung there, struggling for every breath. It was as if all of creation was mourning in that moment. People passed by, some weeping, others taunting him. Then, as his strength faded, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In that cry, we hear the depth of human suffering, the desperate question we all ask in our darkest moments. Why? And then, with his final breath, he said, "It is finished." But was this the end or just the beginning? Little did they know, this story wasn't over. Far from it, the resurrection. 3 days later, the impossible happened. Jesus' tomb was found empty. The stone that had sealed it shut was rolled away, and his burial cloth lay neatly folded inside. His followers were filled with disbelief, wonder, and hope. Then Jesus appeared to them, alive and triumphant over death itself. This wasn't just a comeback story, it was the ultimate victory. Jesus' resurrection turned despair into joy, fear into faith, and death into life. It marked a new beginning, one that promised eternal life for all who believed. The resurrection wasn't merely a happy ending to a sad story. It was proof that love conquers all, even death. Honestly, if this were a movie, some critics would call it too unbelievable. But sometimes, truth is stranger than fiction. The significance and application. The death and resurrection of Jesus offer a powerful reminder that even in our deepest suffering, there is hope. It challenges us to live with purpose, to love without limits, and to trust in something greater than ourselves. This story is not just about a man who died. It's about a God who chose to die for his people and then rose to give them new life. Every time you face a challenge or feel defeated, remember, it is finished doesn't mean it's over. It means victory is just around the corner. We are called to live differently because of what happened on that cross. If this story moved you, imagine the impact it can have when you share it with others. Hit that subscribe button to keep receiving content that inspires and challenges you to grow. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. What part of Jesus' story speaks most to you? Let us know down below. And remember, you are not alone. There's always hope. Thank you for watching, and God bless.